Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my videos. So Manchester United's new front three is Edinson Cavani, Anthony Martial and Marcus Rashford. Now, I think Ole needs to stick with that attacking trio against Southampton. They all did very well in the game against Istanbul Başakşehir. Now, I've got to say I've been very impressed with Edinson Cavani since he's come in. Edinson Cavani made his first start for Manchester United against Istanbul Başakşehir, and I like the way he held up the play. He made some good runs and his link-up play at times was very good. He made an impact when he came on against West Brom, and he also scored his first goal for the football club in our 3-1 win against Everton, and he almost scored with his first touch when he came on against Chelsea. We got Edinson Cavani on a free transfer on deadline day. He signed a 2-year contract with Man United worth around 230 grand a week, and he currently wears that number 7 shirt. Anthony Martial, he was obviously playing on the left-hand side yesterday, and I think he's more effective out wide than he is centrally. Martial has played a lot centrally, hasn't he? But Solskjaer had given his own verdict on Martial's position, and he said he's happy for him to be back on that left-hand side. Prior to the game against Istanbul Başakşehir, Solskjaer explained why Anthony Martial has been struggling this season, and that was because of the 3-match suspension he got in the Premier League. He did get sent off in our 6-1 defeat to Tottenham, but in reality he shouldn't have been sent off. But he was good yesterday, Martial, but prior to that he's endured a difficult start to the season. Martial was very good last season under Ole, and he was good in his debut season under Louis van Gaal. Martial's endured a good 5 years now at Manchester United. We got him in a deal worth like £57 million from Monaco. Last season, Martial scored 23 goals for the club. And Marcus Rashford, he really impressed me yesterday against Istanbul Başakşehir. He obviously scored from the penalty spot. Rashford was playing on that right wing, and he don't really play there a lot, does he, Marcus Rashford? Marcus Rashford's really improved under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. He's scored some goals in the league this season. He scored a hat-trick against RB Leipzig, became the second Man United player to score a hat-trick as a substitute. Also scored late on against Paris Saint-Germain. That's twice he's done that. So yeah, Marcus Rashford's just recently come back from a shoulder problem. A few weeks ago he turned 23 years of age. Rashford's been a United player since the age of 7, and he's been in our senior squad since 2016. So there you go. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is expecting Bissaka, Victor Lindelof, Eric Baily and Pogba to be fit for the game on Sunday against Southampton. Now, Bissaka, he obviously sustained a problem with his ankle in the game against Istanbul Başakşehir. Bissaka has enjoyed some good games at Manchester United this season. He's had a few games where he has looked off the pace, but in the games he's played well and he's showed good attacking intent, and his defensive contributions been good. This is Bissaka's second season at the football club. Now, Victor Lindelof, he's had a problem with his back. It said during the international break he had a problem with his back. Victor Lindelof did play against Istanbul Başakşehir and he did actually impress me. He's enjoyed some good games this season. Eric Baily, he's available again. Don't forget he recently had a muscle injury. That's my element of concern about Eric Baily. He's far too injury prone, but prior to that I think he's a very, very good centre-half. Baily's enjoyed a good 4 years or so now at the football club. We paid like £30 million for him from Villarreal back in 2016. And as for Pogba, he's swollen his ankle. So he has missed our last 2 games. Missed the Bissaka game. And he also missed the game against West Brom, didn't he? Did Pogba. Luke Shaw, he's out with a hamstring injury. He's out for, 4 to 6 weeks. So he definitely won't be involved in the game on Sunday. Lingard's obviously self-isolating, like Ollie confirmed recently. Because Lingard was in contact with someone with COVID-19. And Phil Jones, he's still currently out with injury. But yeah, it will be a difficult game on Sunday against Southampton. Be a close one to call. We've been in good form recently. We have won our last 3 games in a row in all competitions. Southampton themselves are in a good vein of form. They did recently draw though with Wolves 1-1. Southampton are sitting 5th in the Premier League. That's good to their standards, and they've registered 17 points from their opening 9 games. Southampton have got a good manager in Ralph Hasenhüttl. I credit him for the way he's turned Southampton around. And Southampton have got quite a few good players in their team, like I've already said. They've obviously got Stuart Armstrong. They've got Nathan Redmond, he's pretty good. They've got Danny Ings. Probably Danny Ings is one of their best players. Danny Ings has been out with injury. They've got Obafemi, who's quite good. They've got Theo Walcott. They got him on loan from Everton. They've also got Che Adams. They've got James Ward-Prowse. They've got Romeu. They've got Ryan Bertrand, who's also good for them. They've got that Vestergaard. And let's put into the equation, Southampton have let quite a few players go, haven't they? They let Charlie Austin go. They let Cedric Soares go. They let Holberg go. They let Virgil van Dijk go. They let Nathaniel Klein go. They let Dejan Lovren go. They let Adam Lallana go. They let Sadio Mane go. Yeah, Virgil van Dijk, I think I've said him. So there you go. The game at St Mary's last season was 1-1 between the sides. And the game at Old Trafford was 2-2 last season. Now, I'm expecting Ollie to make some changes from the 4-1 win against Istanbul Başakşehir. Ollie only made 2 changes though in the Başakşehir game from the 1-0 win against West Brom, didn't he? Now, after Southampton, we have got PSG. That's going to be a difficult game. Then it's West Ham, should be winning that. Then it's RB Leipzig, that's going to be a tough game. And then it is Manchester City. So games are coming up thick and fast for Manchester United. We've done very, very well in Europe this season. We've won 3 games out of 4 in the group stage. Beating PSG, beating RB Leipzig and beating Istanbul Başakşehir. So, as it stands, we only need 1 point from our 2 remaining games to qualify for the knockout stage. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is taking nothing for granted. Now, Manchester United need another Bruno Fernandes type signing in January. Now, we already are making plans for the January transfer window. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has already told Ed Woodward what to do next year. Now, there has been a lot of players on our agenda. Now, it says that we're going to go back in for Jadon Sancho in the January transfer window. And it says the other week we're willing to copy Chelsea's structure to get Jadon Sancho. Now, Sancho was our number one priority target during the summer transfer window, wasn't he? And obviously you had Fabrizio Romano during the summer talking about the Sancho saga. Christian Falk from Bild, he also spoken about it a few times. Borussia Dortmund said that they wanted 108 million for Sancho during the summer transfer window. We wasn't willing to pay the 108 million pounds that they were demanding, because from our perspective we thought it was too much. But it was saying like the personal terms had been agreed and the agent fees had been agreed, but just couldn't come to an agreement on the actual fee. That was the problem. I think we was only willing to pay like 60 or 70 million pounds up front for Jadon Sancho. Sancho's enjoyed a difficult start to this season with Borussia Dortmund, and there's a good chance he could still leave next year. This is his 4th season with them. He has got a contract with Dortmund until 2023. Dortmund only paid £8 million for him from Man City. The main explanation he left Manchester City is because he didn't get assured any first team opportunities, did he? And before he was at City, he was at Watford. And don't forget, we was willing to offer Jadon Sancho the number 7 shirt. Now, Ousmane Dembele, will Man United sign him in January? He's one of the alternatives we've been looking at to Sancho. Now, he's a much cheaper solution than Sancho. Last time I read about Ousmane Dembele was a few weeks ago, like he updated you. And it said that Ousmane Dembele could be available for around £45 million in January. It said that we may get him on loan with the obligation to buy, but Barcelona would prefer a straight purchase. Now, we did inquire about getting him on loan throughout the course of the summer transfer window. By the way, Barcelona have paid an extra 4.4 million or something like that to Borussia Dortmund. My only element of concern about Ousmane Dembele is that he's injury prone. He's sustained a few injuries at Barcelona. He's been at Barcelona now for a good 3 years or so. He has got a contract with them until 2022. Barcelona got him in a deal worth 135 million from Borussia Dortmund back in 2017. Liverpool also inquired about getting him. Now, Dayot Upamecano, I don't see us going in for him or getting him in January. I think we're going to wait until next summer to get him, because at the end of the season, Dayot Upamecano will be available for around £36 million, because that's when his release clause does become active. Because don't forget, Dayot Upamecano signed a new deal with RB Leipzig until 2023. And that obviously includes a £36 million release clause. RB Leipzig only paid around £9 million for him from Red Bull Salzburg back in 2017. But yeah, Dayot Upamecano's confirmed to believe in RB Leipzig next summer, but we don't know where his next club will be. We've been interested, Liverpool have been interested. The main explanation why Liverpool have been in for him is because obviously Virgil van Dijk's out with a serious injury. Joe Gomez has been out with injury. He still is out with injury, should I say. Andrew Robertson's just come back from injury for Liverpool. So there you go. It said a few weeks ago that we was interested in David Carmo from Braga. Jack Grealish, it's also said that we've revived our interest in him. No, don't forget we tried getting him during the summer transfer window, but Aston Villa said they wanted around £80 million for Jack Grealish. And that put Man United off, and plus we had element of concerns about where he would fit in the team. Jack Grealish was it earlier on this season, signed a 5-year contract with Aston Villa. Grealish has spent the entirety of his career so far with Villa, been there since he was a young boy. He obviously operates now on that left-hand side. Could also go in for Erling Haaland next year. I think he's got a £68 million release clause, but that doesn't become active until the summer of 2022. It was a shame that we missed out on Haaland back in January because he would have been an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer type signing. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the one that gave him his debut at just the age of 16. At Mulder, that was. Dortmund got him, they only paid £17 million for him, and Haaland's got a contract with Dortmund until 2024. So like I said, there's been a lot of players on our agenda. I think Manchester United need a centre-half, and I think we also need a right winger, so they are the two priorities. But yeah, like I said earlier on, we need another Bruno Fernandes type signing. Bruno Fernandes has been exceptional since he came to Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes has been at the football club now for almost a year. And he scored like 21 goals in 35 games for the football club and provided around 15 assists. Now, a lot of Bruno Fernandes' goals have come from the penalty spot, haven't they? Bruno Fernandes did score twice in our 4-1 win against Istanbul Başakşehir. He scored in the 1-0 win against West Brom, retaken penalty, and scored twice against Everton and also got an assist. Bruno Fernandes obviously plays in that number 10. Last season, don't forget, he won Sir Matt Busby Player of the Year award, and he also won Premier League Player of the Month twice. We paid €55 million for Fernandes from Lisbon back in January. Fernandes has got a contract with us until 2025. But he's definitely our best player. Now, next year, we're also going to focus on the outgoings, not just the incomings, because there's still deadwood at the football club that we do need to get rid of. I think next year we'll be looking to get rid of Jesse Lingard. We'll be also looking to get rid of Phil Jones, Marcus Rojo, Sergio Romero. I think he's another one who'll go because he's now our third choice goalkeeper. I think Daniel James could possibly go because he's been out of form and doesn't play that much now, but he did play against Istanbul Başakşehir. Obviously come off the bench and scored. Daniel James. I'm expecting Odi Nagalo to leave the club in January when his loan expires. Nemanja Matic could leave because he's lost his place in the team. A lot of United fans are also expecting Paul Pogba to leave the football club. Possibly Juan Mata could go. There's obviously been rumours of Brandon Williams going out on loan because Brandon Williams is now our third choice left back following the arrival of Telles. Williams did come on yesterday in the game against Istanbul Başakşehir. Obviously, there's been rumours of Dean Henderson going out on loan. And he actually said that Dean Henderson wants to go out on loan, but Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said prior to the Başakşehir game that Dean Henderson wants to stay, and he said he wants to play for Manchester United. Obviously, Dean Henderson is our second choice goalkeeper, isn't he? But yeah, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer could be still Manchester United manager in January. It depends on how things go from now till January, doesn't it? But like I've said time and time again, Ollie needs more backing at the football club because, quite frankly, he hasn't been backed enough. He certainly wasn't backed enough during the summer transfer window because we missed out on all of his priority targets. None of our managers that we've had since Ferguson retired have been backed enough. Moyes wasn't backed enough. Van Gaal wasn't backed enough. Mourinho wasn't backed enough. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has not been backed enough. But there has been problems with the board at the club for a long time now, and a lot of United fans have been demanding the board out. But Woodward came out the other week and said that Manchester United... Mine! Manchester United remain absolutely committed to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer despite our poor start to the season. The main explanation why I think Solskjaer is still Man United manager is because he is a club legend, and reflects on that, our board have softened their stance on him, but disregarding him being a club legend, I think he would have been sacked by now. I really, really do. You know what I mean? But like I've said time and time again, I want his managerial tenure to work out because I just want it to work out. I really, really do. You know, Solskjaer hasn't got that proven pedigree as a manager. You know, Manchester United is the third club in his managerial career. You know, before he was with us, he was at Mould. He won a few Norwegian titles at Mould. But before he was at Mould, he was at Cardiff, and his record at Cardiff was disastrous. Now, the main explanation he got sacked from Cardiff is because he ended up getting Cardiff relegated, didn't he? Reflecting how long Solskjaer's been at Man United, he has gained managerial experience and he has learned quite a bit. You know, we appointed Ollie in December 2018 to replace Mourinho, and he's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. So Solskjaer's been Manchester United manager now for almost 2 years. Next month, I think it's his 2-year anniversary at the football club, and he has got a contract with Man United until 2022. If we did decide to sack him, it'd cost the club around £4 or £5 million. That's totally contrast though to what the £18 million that were paid to get rid of Jose Mourinho. This is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's second full season at the club. And I did say at the start of this season that this season was going to be big for him. And I said he's obviously got to do everything right and he's got to exceed his expectations if he is to remain Man United manager. And I said time and time again, if we can finish in the top 4 this season and if we can win a trophy, that would represent a very, very good season for Manchester United. And then that would give us something to build on. I think we're currently sitting 10th in the Premier League now. We know that's nowhere near good enough to our standards, but there's still a long way to go in the season, isn't there? Don't forget, we've had good periods under the Solskjaer era. We're enjoying a pretty good period at the moment. Went on a 19-game unbeaten run last season in all competitions. We was 14 unbeaten in the Premier League until Palace had beaten us on the opening day of the season. So there you go. You know, a lot of United fans have different perceptions on Solskjaer. Some United fans will say give him time, and some United fans are still demanding him out. You know, obviously there has been a lot of talks of Mauricio Pochettino becoming the club's next manager. But it says we'll have to act soon if we are to bring Pochettino in. Jamie Jackson from The Guardian, he's actually said that Man United haven't made any approach for Mauricio Pochettino, and he says it's likely that Man United will stick with Solskjaer. Pochettino's been the favourite to take over. Massimiliano Allegri, you know, he's been another manager on our agenda. Julian Nagelsmann, he's also been another manager on our agenda. Not all of the blame stems from Solskjaer. You know, Solskjaer's accountable for a few of the things, obviously. Because in a lot of his games, he has been tactically naive. But there again, in the big games, he showed a lot of tactical flexibility. The lineup he went with yesterday against Bissaka was one of our strongest lineups. If we'd have played Paul Pogba instead of Fred, that would have been our strongest lineup without a shadow of a doubt. It really, really would. But there's a few issues Solskjaer's got to solve at the club. Like I said, he's got to obviously solve the Pogba issue. Because we've had issues with obviously Paul Pogba. Pogba's been one of the biggest problems at the club and probably still is. We did have problems with Mason Greenwood now, but I think that's all been sorted. But Solskjaer's got to identify his best 11. I don't think he knows his best 11 at the club. I think he's also got to select the right formation. Ole has gone a lot with a 4-2-3-1 formation since he got appointed in as Man United manager. But in like the big games, he's gone with like the 3-5-2 formation, and a few times he's gone with that 4-3-3 formation. So there you go. These are the issues he's got to solve. Like I said to you earlier on today, Solskjaer must start Donny van der Beek in the Premier League. Donny van der Beek has not yet made his full Premier League debut for the football club. Donny van der Beek, though, he's getting his chances in Europe. You know, he did play against Istanbul Başakşehir yesterday night. He was playing in a deeper role, and to be fair, he's very, very effective in that deeper role. I think that's his predominant position anyway. You know, he can play in like 3 different roles. You know, you can put Van der Beek in the number 10, and you can also put him out wide. Can't you? We paid £40 million for Donny van der Beek from Ajax, didn't we? Donny van der Beek did reveal during the international break that Ollie told him to be patient and wait for his opportunities, you know. But he was very, very good yesterday against Istanbul Başakşehir. Now, like I've already said to you, it would be very, very beneficial if Manchester United could get a director of footballing. Because if we were to get a director of footballing, then, you know, Solskjaer would get more backing. And I think it's one of the structural changes that we need at the club. And plus, if we get one in, we need someone who knows the club inside out and someone who's obviously got that experience. You know, there's been a few names linked to that director's role. A few names have been former Manchester United players, haven't there? Now, like I said, in the last 8 years, Manchester United have obviously been playing catch-up. In the last 8 years or so, we've spent over £1 billion on players, and we've recruited over 30-odd players in since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. So people say, reflect on the money we've spent, we should be much more of a commanding position than we're in. We've had different managers with different philosophies. 3 managers have been sacked since Ferguson left, and that was Moyes, Louis van Gaal and Jose Mourinho. You know, we haven't won the Premier League since 2013, so we haven't won it now for like 8 years. You know, we've only won 4 trophies since Fergie left, and that was the FA Cup under Louis van Gaal and the Europa League, the League Cup and the Community Shield under Jose Mourinho. You know what I mean? Solskjaer's made some good signings though since he got appointed as Man United manager. He's spent over £200 million at the football club, and he's endured 4 transfer windows. He's got rid of a lot of players since he got recommended in. Ollie did well last season. You know, he got us qualification for the Champions League, guided us to a 3rd place finish, and he also guided us to 3 semi-finals, didn't he? But we haven't dominated English football since the Sir Alex Ferguson era, like I've said time and time again. I don't think any manager at Man United, or any manager in general, will replicate Ferguson's legacy, will they? Ferguson endured 27 years at Manchester United, won a total of 38 major honours. including 13 Premier League titles. But Ferguson didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at the club. But since Fergie left, being inconsistent. Before Ferguson came into the equation, very, very inconsistent, because we weren't good under Ron Atkinson, we weren't good under Wolf McGuinness, and we certainly weren't good under Frank O'Farrell. We got relegated under Frank O'Farrell back in 1974, so that's a good 40 odd years ago now, isn't it? So yeah. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.